Thanks for joining us. We're back in the boardroom, ready to break down this weekend's game for the Gamecocks versus the Missouri Tigers. New to the SEC, making this a pretty big game for the Gamecocks.
Yep.
3:30 at Williams-Brice.
On CBS.
On CBS.
It's the game of the week.
Hunter, what do I need to know about the Missouri Tigers?
You need to know that they have a quarterback who's banged up just like we do, James Franklin. He's nursing an elbow injury. He's a good quarterback. You know, he threw for 269 yards and rushed for 65 against Georgia in the loss. But yeah, he's got that elbow injury, so he didn't play against Arizona State because he wouldn't get a cortisone shot, you know, a painkiller shot, which I don't understand why he wouldn't do that. But hey, he's got a right to make that decision. But so they'll be coming in with a banged up quarterback. We'll be coming in with a banged up quarterback.
So it could potentially be battle of the backups.
It could be. It could turn into a battle of the backups. And if it does, I think we would come out because we all know how capable Dylan Thompson is. But Bergstresser, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Missouri backup, he's a very capable quarterback too, right. But I don't think he's as good as Dylan Thompson is. He led them against Arizona State. They won 24-20. He had a good game, solid game. You know, it's not too impressive, but he was backup, came in, got a win. It is what it is. Right. But the main thing to take away from Missouri is their dual threat. You know, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. They've got everything, and they have a solid fan base. So I think they'll travel fairly well, even though it's a 15-hour drive. I think they'll have some fans there, so look for them in the opposite end zone of the students, and look for James Franklin. He'll be the key.
Right.
If he's able to stay in the game and play well, the Gamecocks will have a test. They'll have a test on their hands.
Now that we know a little bit about James Franklin, is there anyone specifically for the Gamecocks that you're looking for anything? What are you expecting from the Gamecocks this weekend?
I'm expecting Connor Shaw to silence all of his doubters.
Very important for him to do that, personally.
Because, you know, even though the coaches and even Dylan Thompson are saying, you know, Connor's the starter, everybody knows that there's a question mark in the back of everybody's head because Dylan Thompson has been so good these past two games.
Right.
He's got over 500 yards passing, and he's got the touch on the deep ball that Connor Shaw just doesn't have.
Right.
And if Connor Shaw can have a good game in the air, I don't care how good of a game if he rushes for 200 yards, good for him. Right. But that's not going to silence anybody because they're looking for someone who can pass the ball, and I hope he does it. I don't know if he does it, though.
And if he doesn't, then we also have a great backup. But going into the game, what is your prediction score-wise? Who's going to come out on top? How close of a game is it going to be? Is it going to be a nail-biter for fans? What's going to happen?
I think this is going to be a nail-biter. We're finally back in the SEC play.
For several weeks in a row now.
It's going to be a close one. I expect Marcus Lattimore to have 100 yards. I think Dylan. I think Connor Shaw will have 200 yards passing. And I think, so what wide receiver do I want to choose for a big game this week? Let's go with Shaq Rowland. I think Shaq's going to have a good game. You know, he's got confidence off of his touchdown last week. So, you know, I think you know, Shaw, Lattimore, and Rowland. I think that's going to be a big combination. And as far as score-wise,
let's get a number here.
I don't want to.
I was pretty close on the money last week. I was 2 points off. I predicted 50-7, and the final score was 49-6.
Yeah,
so let's see if you can trump me this week. I have to rub it in a little bit.
I was 10 points off. That's not, I mean, it's not small, but it's not huge.
True.
But, oh God, I'm going to go with 28-7.
Okay. Interesting. I was 17. Okay. I was going to go with a pretty close score such as that. I do think that Missouri is going to come in and really be a threat to the Gamecock season.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's SEC play, even though it's their first year and most of these players are quote unquote, you know, Big 12 players. It's just the fact that they've got SEC right there on their jerseys.
Right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode of Capital City Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in the same time next week where we will break down the game versus Missouri and preview the upcoming football game versus Kentucky.
You good?
What?
You good?
Yeah?
All right.
Why?
Peace out.